It was a big call not to start him today. Erik ten Hag suggested that maybe it's on a rotational basis. We saw him glimpses today. Do you think he's had a positive impact?
This season, no. I don't think he's worked hard enough. There's been question marks this year about, you know, how committed he has been. You look at him last season, 30 goals. This season he hasn't lived up to expectations. Simple as that. I thought he came on. It's difficult coming on as, you know, as a sub, but didn't really get the pace of the game. You know, it was a tough night for him. And then, you know, Ten Hag justifiably picked Anthony tonight. He got the assist and looked a bit of a threat down that right-hand side. So it was the right call. Be interesting now Sunday.
Do you think he'll start on Sunday, Marcus Rashford?
I think Rashford will start, but I agree entirely with Chris. Your judgment, you make judgments of what happens on the field of play, and this season he's just not been there, and then off-field activities don't help either. You know, you go out for a meal or something. You see on Derby Day when you've just been beaten and you've had a you know. Listen, everyone to eat their own. But you know, you've just been hammered in that game. Why didn't you just stay in? Why didn't you just call these things off? He was over in Belfast for a night out as well too, and then cried in sick, you know, the next day. Those things do not help, I must admit. And when you're not winning, they certainly don't help.
I had 5 years playing under Martin, and I wasn't allowed out once with my family in a 5-year period.
Never once that you sort of just...
Not once.
I allowed him out twice, one at Christmas and one at Easter. You know.
That's it.
Listen, he repaid me big time. That was the great news about him, and it was also great news because he didn't want to go out with his family at all.
Why do you think he was dropped today then, Rashford? Martin?
I think that might have been a bit of rotation. I think that Ten Hag probably wants maybe to for Anthony to get some part of some football here because he brought him into the football club, and I think and maybe, although if he has an eye on the big game against Liverpool, then I disagree with that. That's all. It's my opinion, but I'm not managing the team.
I think the point is, had Marcus Rashford made such an impact this season and had the consistent level of performance which he did last season, then there's no way he would have dropped him for tonight, or left him out, or rotated, whatever people want to say.
Do you think Marcus Rashford is happy at the moment?
No, not
playing for Manchester United, playing under Erik ten Hag.
No, you know what? Martin's mentioned a couple of sort of misdemeanors this season. He doesn't seem happy in himself. You know, if you're left out of a team, then of course you're not going to be happy. But he's not the same player. We know that. There may be reasons for that, but you know, a happy Marcus Rashford is going to benefit Manchester United. He needs to get back to the level which we know he can play at.
Yeah, and you can always blame a manager. I think it's quite simple to do that there when it's a wee bit. I think it's too easy. I think the player, you've got to take more responsibility. There's no question about that. You've got to take responsibility for how you train, how you act as a Manchester, not just as a Manchester United, as a professional footballer as well too. But eventually it comes home to roost here when you're on the field of play.
You're going to get mown over here.
We're just going to get out of the way here slowly. But the fact that he isn't happy, is it about time, do you think, Rashford, to find pastures anew?
No, well, I'll tell you, playing for Manchester United should be an absolute privilege for a start. It should be a privilege. You should, if you're a Manchester United player when you're 19 years of age, you would probably want to play for Manchester United until you're at least 29. So this is the point. So again, I'll get back to it. It's really, I say you can blame the manager. You can do a lot of those particular things. What I call the lad has just gone out on loan as well out to Dortmund again. Sancho's had a running battle with the manager, and you know, you can maybe see a side for each, but you've got to go and do something about it.
So how do you get back a happy Marcus Rashford? Because a happy Marcus Rashford is an effective Marcus Rashford.
Okay, the best way to do. Why didn't you start at the weekend then? Marcus Rashford starts in the game. Marcus Rashford does so well he can't be left out of the team. How's that for starters?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, it has to come from Marcus Rashford. You know, he can't go around sulking. He needs to get his place back into the team, play on a regular basis. And you know, if he starts scoring goals and he's benefiting the team, then he's going to be happy, isn't he? You know, Manchester United is his club. He's made that clear. He put out a statement, didn't he, about a month ago, and talked about issues which he'd had, recognised that, and you know, we know he's a talented player, but this season he hasn't quite been at it, and it's down to him to recover the form, which we know that is in there somewhere.